What is up, Eggy Wegg Nation? Welcome back to the 16th episode of the podcast. I'm once again joined by my lovely friend and co-host, Henry. And just to
Hello.
clarify, I'm back on the podcast permanently after I had a little bit of a scuffle with woo-jin. I had to take him back to the shed, and well, we won't be hearing from him for a while. I'll just say that.
Yeah,
But
no. He actually said, you know, you have no idea how much I had to cut out of last episode.
really?
It was really bad.
Oh God.
Really bad.
He had a few choice words for me when I saw him again, but anyways, let's say he's a bit more retired from just the podcast now. He might be retired from this mortal plane. But as we continue our normal scheduled programming here, we have a French movie because I guess Henry just wanted us to be miserable for this episode. Yeah. It is Les Règles du Jeu, or as the English title is called, The Rules of the Game by
I think
Jean
all
Renoir.
French. I think all French should be read in the SpongeBob title card voice.
I agree. La règle du jeu.
La règle du jeu.
Du jeu.
Du jeu.
Yeah, this is an old ass movie.
Old ass movie.
Old ass movie.
All the
made
people, they're all dead.
All the
They're
people. Sometimes
so
when I be
dead.
watching old movies like this, and I see an old person in it, I'm like, damn, this person old.
Yeah,
He's
what the
triple
fuck?
old. Damn, bro.
Nah, it's like when you see the old guy in that old woman in what's the fucking thing, Haxan? With the witch,
Yeah.
that old woman who's the witch.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
It's
She's from the fucking man. She
ancient.
shook hands with.
She was there when the pyramids were fucking built.
Yeah, she shook
Like-
hands with fucking Jesus.
It's fucking yeah.
Jesus. And it's always one of those, like all of these types of films from the 30s. There's I mean, they're all dead now, but the actresses for Lisette and Genevieve, they lived until the 2010s. Oh my, what the
wow,
fuck?
yeah, that's weird. to
They
think
were
about.
really, oh my god, fucking Lisette, her name was Paulette Dubost. She was 100 when she died. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Nah, that's crazy.
Well, I'm glad she had a long lasting life,
Yeah. And Genevieve was 94, which is crazy. Because Christine was in her 40s when she died.
Yeah, it's just you gotta roll the dice. They either died
Yeah.
really young, or they fucking
Don't know
they
what
lived to see
happened as
COVID,
well.
bro. Yeah.
We don't know. On her Wikipedia, it said also under list of unconfirmed deaths, and I was like, oh
my
my
God.
god, no. But basic. Although it's not murder, it was just she died in Chile, and it was either suicide, which sucks, but also people close to her suspect that it was just natural causes. It's she just fucking got something and died. It was the
Yeah, I
fucking
mean that's
40s.
not out of that's not out of the question.
It was the
People died
40s
from fucking
in fucking Chile.
yeah. People died from
whatever.
fucking common cold. Didn't
Yeah.
a fucking strong
People
gust of wind would kill you.
People
back then.
people looked at a pond wrong and dropped dead. Back
It's
then.
just fucking died.
There's not much you could do.
Yeah.
Some of them lived to 40, some of them lived to 100. And what can you do?
Or they were just Jewish.
What's that got to do
Anyway,
with any
swiftly
of it?
moving on. This movie is pretty cool.
Jeez, what? Nah, you're gonna have to explain that.
Because we're talking about the 40s, dude.
Oh man, okay. I thought
Yeah,
it was some kind of stereotype or whatever.
No.
I didn't know there was a stereotype of Jewish people living
No,
a
Jesus
long
Christ.
time. I was
Nah,
like, what the
dude.
fuck? It's not a bad
Nah.
stereotype to have. It's still a stereotype, but
No, I listen
speaking
to
of
Kanye,
stereotypes,
but I wouldn't take it this far. Oh,
rules
yeah.
of the game.
Rich people, they suck.
Yeah, there's a scene where they dress up as Jewish people and they're singing and shit. We'll get to that later because that's
It's a bit of a weird bit, yeah.
quite biting satire.
So,
I say so myself, but
would you like to give a plot rundown. I mean, it's not really a movie where like
Oh,
a
Jesus
lot
Christ.
happens, but
I
like
don't know if I can.
it's just
I
like
don't know if I can. It's
yeah,
like nothing happens, but also a lot happens. There's so much. It's not a plot-heavy movie. It's a very character-heavy movie
yeah,
with like loads of love triangles. But in terms of actual plot, it's like, um, fucking Andre. Andre
Rublev.
does like is like a famous plane guy, but he doesn't care because he can't stay in the plane because he's too busy sitting in the cuck chair. I mean, and then I don't know. Um, they go to like a house, a big a chateau, if you will.
Hosu.
They get to a house zoo and they kill a bunch of animals, and then they get drunk. People throw hands, and a bunch of crazy mix-ups happen, and someone dies.
Like
And
the average,
everyone's sad, and they go home.
yeah, pretty much. The average night out in Birmingham, pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
You've never
like
been to Birmingham.
I have.
You don't know shit.
I know everything about Birmingham.
I don't think
I've
I
seen
don't
the
think I've
Instagram
been to
reels.
Birmingham either. I
Really?
feel like I'd remember if I did. Yeah.
Oh, you should probably keep it
No,
that
I
way.
mean, you say really, but like, have you been everywhere? Have you been everywhere in Canada? I know the UK is smaller, but like,
No, but well, yeah, exactly. The UK
I've
is
been
like
to I've been
you
to
walk
Scotland once. I've been to Edinburgh once.
yeah,
Like,
oh, that makes sense. But like with the
Birmingham
UK, you
isn't
guys have
like
to.
across
I mean,
the road.
yeah, but then again, I don't know why you'd want to go to Birmingham. That's the
Yeah,
part that really
exactly.
makes sense to me.
Why would I want to go to Birmingham?
Yeah, it sucks.
Birmingham is a fucking shithole.
It's a
I hate the bloody place.
It's a shit
Yeah.
hole.
Basically, Andre likes Christine, but Christine is married to fucking Robert. But he's having an affair with Genevieve,
Mm-hmm.
and Octave. He's there.
He's in the movie, guys.
I was playing it really poorly, and there's like kind of like a mirroring, and to the whole like Andre. Fuck, I'm gonna call him Rob from now on. From the fucking Andre
boy Rob.
Andre, my boy Rob. Christine, like kind of love triangle affair kind of thing. There's like a mirroring one with Lisette, Schumacher, and that fucking what's it called? God, Marceau.
Yeah, there you go.
There's like a mirroring one with them, and yeah,
There are quite a few
Octave is there.
There are quite a few Wattpad love triangles in this
Yeah.
film, and a lot of characters are introduced at
And
once.
and absolutely no one gets what they want in the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, exactly. This movie,
Especially Andre, he fucking dies.
yeah, he
like-
gets the worst fucking treatment in this
He gets
movie.
the way he dies. It's like when it happens, it's like genuinely. I think it's genuine. It's really good. I've seen this. This was my fourth time watching it, and like on this time, honestly, this time I felt like the saddest watching the ending. Like I wasn't like crying or anything.
Yeah,
It's like the film does keep you at like enough of a distance that you're not
There's-
gonna
yeah,
like. It's not gonna be devastating, but it is like it's genuinely quite sad.
yeah,
Honestly.
no, for sure.
And but actually like talking about it, the way he dies is like intentionally really silly and stupid.
Yeah,
Where the the fucking Schumacher thinks that Octave is in the greenhouse with Lisette, who's
Yeah.
his wife. And then, but it's not. It's just Christine.
yeah, he just
With like
shoots.
Lisette's robe, and then Octave runs out back to the chateau, and then he's like, "Andre, Christine needs you." And then he and then he gives Andre his coat,
And that's
and
like the
Andre
worst
comes
thing.
running
Like,
back, and then Schumacher like kills him because he thinks he's Octave.
Yeah, yeah,
Because he thinks that Octave is with Lisette, who is actually Christine.
yeah, and
It's
it's
like
just
so dumb,
it's so
but
terrible
like
too because
intentionally.
it's like the one time like a character like does something like good in this movie, like the one time they try to do the
Yeah.
right thing, like
Oh
Octave like
yeah, he's like
telling
being
Andre to
completely
go.
selfless.
Yeah, when Andre
Like he
goes.
he realizes he realizes that like he's not right for
Yeah,
Christine,
exactly.
even though like he clearly like genuinely loves her.
Yeah,
It's
it
kind of
just
sad,
wouldn't work
especially
out.
you can really tell from her body language, especially because of like the like kind of how she's like talked to other characters like previously in the movie, but you can really tell in that greenhouse scene that like Christine is really just kind of faking it.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Like
definitely.
she doesn't actually love like Octane. Like she clearly does like really like him, but she's not in love with him. And
She
she
be
kind
saying she's
of
in love
like
with anyone, dude. She just
yeah, she's
fucking
no, she says the same with Andre, and she's like
yeah,
clearly being fake. It's like I think it's like after she sees um good old Robbie with Genevieve, she's like, okay, I can't
yeah,
deal with this anymore.
yeah, pretty
And I
much.
find that really interesting because they always make a thing about how um about they say like multiple times about how she's a foreigner and there's no one that speaks her language,
Yeah,
specifically that wording. And I find it interesting how the rest of like the kind of bourgeois people, they kind of just go about, they're like very loose
yeah,
with how like, you know, a lot of them are like married but like also like they just like flirt with like everyone else.
yeah. That's it. They're not really like
Where like
loyal.
Christine, as far as that, there are like some hint. It's kept vague enough that we don't know for certain, but like but like there's never like any confirmation that that she's like ever been unfaithful
Yeah,
to like Robert. And like her whole thing is like everyone treats her like an angel, and clearly like she like loves it, and she's
yeah,
she's kind of good at manipulating people, but like at the same time she doesn't, again, she doesn't, no one else speaks her language, and yeah, she doesn't. And so like when she finds out that Robert's like being unfaithful to her, she kind of snaps, and
yeah.
she doesn't really have anywhere to go from
Hmm.
there. And that's kind of a situation that like all the characters have. By the end of the movie, like none of the characters have like
Everyone's been
a
played, bro.
direction to go in. They've like it's like it's kind of insane how they managed to make it so that like that happens with like literally every character
Yeah,
is like
I
fucking unsatisfied and like directionless by the end.
I found that so satisfying. Like the whole like last like 25 minute, like the way like there's all these sharp turns with like how the character like with the how the characters their destinies pretty much, and there's like so many like
Yeah.
twists, but it feels like so natural and earned. It's like amazing. Like
Mm.
the way everything just like unfolds in like the last 20 minutes. I love that so much. It was
Oh,
so
it's
cool.
fucking amazing. Oh my god, in the original cut, they fucking ruined it. They ruined it. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm only gonna touch on this briefly because it's like, it's not something that like no one's gonna stumble upon this nowadays. It does still exist, the original cut, um,
Hmm.
of Rules of the Game, which is it's like less than 90 minutes. And
Damn.
basically, and they treated it, even though it's like it's a character based story. They basically edited it like it was a plot based
Oh
story. So
no.
they cut out a bunch of stuff at the end. The ending makes no sense. The ending looks like I mean it is a murder, but like
Yeah.
it makes it look more like a cold-blooded
Like an
murder
intentional thing. Yeah.
rather than like I mean he did mean to kill Octave, but like he didn't mean to kill. I mean he didn't think it was Andre. He didn't mean to kill Andre
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, not to excuse it, but like the original cut like cuts shit out that like sort of muddies the waters. They don't mention that they actually cut out the bit where Octave and they cut out like the bit where like Christine is like fake like
Yeah.
confessing to Octave, and like they end up kissing in
Mm.
the greenhouse, and they cut the bit where Schumacher's like, that's Lizette's robe.
Yeah, those are
And
like
they
really important
cut
parts.
out a bunch of other conversations and stuff as well in that ending, and so it's just it's fucking confusing. It's
Yeah, it
like
sounds like they
really
just changed the
unclear why
story.
he even does that. Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird. And they cut out a bunch of awesome. I mean, I say awesome scenes. I kind of love every scene in this movie, so it's like not. So, but you know, like specifically a bunch of scenes, like the bit where Octave is like kind of pretending to like conduct to like the fake audience outside,
Yeah, yeah.
and then he
I
just
like
kind of
that
gets
part too.
depressed and sits down. I fucking love that scene. They cut that out. They cut out the bit um, where Octave and Andre talk after like Andre like nearly like fucking crashes his car. Um,
Love that part too.
well, so I love they fucking cut that bit out. Also, fucking hilarious, and I kind of see it as like kind of like a rich person out of touch kind of like little jab. The fact that Andre he's like a record breaking pilot, but he
Yeah.
fucking but he's like he's got his head like so far up his ass that he just fucking he's like going down like a straight path and he crashes his car. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. There's a lot of like really basic stuff like that that I love. But yeah, original cut poo, but it's like you know
Yeah, isn't that I read somewhere that like when this movie came out it was like panned
yeah,
critically.
it was panned, and I'm not surprised because it cuts out a lot of character stuff, especially specifically it cuts out a lot of the stuff with Octave.
Mm.
And especially like and especially cutting out a lot of Octave's like character moments. Um and also a lot of the character moments with like the upper class with a lot of the upper class characters. So in the original cut, they're like a lot less. It's including Octave, which is surprising, but they're like a lot less human,
Yeah.
really, because they don't they because they really have no nuance, and a lot of the time is spent on like Lizette and
Yeah,
Schumacher,
yeah.
surprisingly. And what's his face, Marceau.
Yeah, from what you're describing it sounds like they made it a different movie pretty much.
Yeah, basically. Because because I think I've got there was like an original cut and we have no idea how it went, but that was like 90 something minutes and it didn't go well, and so Renoir cut like another 10 minutes from the movie and it was panned.
God damn.
And then after that, and it was like negatively reviewed, and after that, well, basically that happened, and also like the writing was on the wall that like fucking the Nazis were gonna take over. And I'll
Yeah.
get to that as well because that's also important to the movie. But so like he ended up becoming like a Hollywood director to like varying success.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, that's another thing
but
too, just kind of like bad timing.
yeah, really bad timing. Um, and then in like the 50s, what's insane is that so the cut that everyone watches now, the cut that's like hailed as a masterpiece, is from 1959, but it's not a director's cut. Renoir
Oh.
didn't oversee it, which is
Oh shit.
insane. It was just they and they and the original cut, like the 90 something minute one, didn't exist. So they basically, even though Renoir didn't, he like gave it his blessing, but he didn't oversee it. So they basically, the editors basically just, they were just like,
Save the movie.
I don't know who, but like they yeah basically saved the movie, and I think they were just really passionate about it, and they
Wow.
just saved the movie, and it's crazy because the film like flows so well, you'd never know that
Yeah, I
it
wouldn't
was
have guessed
like
that.
that it was like edited again, like
Yeah.
20 years later. You'd never guess because
I
it's
just
done so
assumed
well.
it was like I just assumed it was like the edited version came out and then like people found the director's cut later. I didn't know that
Yeah,
like all versions were gone and then just like the editors came in and like did a cut last minute.
yeah,
That's really cool.
especially because the 59 cut is like 10. it uses like over 10 minutes of footage that was never in even like the original like 90 something
Yeah.
minute cut that doesn't exist anymore. Um,
That's fucking awesome.
yeah, no, it is awesome. Yeah, and I've got so much to talk about. Oh my god! So like, just going back to, if you want to say anything, just like chime in and I'll stop because I've I've got a lot to
Yeah,
talk
no,
about.
no problem. Go for it.
Another thing I like that little thing. I don't even know if it was on purpose. I said that I thought it was like kind of like a little rich person kind of out of touch jab. The way that Andre like can't even drive his car properly,
Yeah.
but he's also like a record breaking like pilot. There's like a lot of other stuff like that. There's a conversation. Um, it's like a really innocuous conversation. You can like so easily miss it, and it's like the way it's written and with the characters, you'd think it was just a normal conversation, and you wouldn't think it anything of it. Where like, Christine and Lizette are like talking, um, and Christine asks Lizette, "What do you think about having children?" And Lizette's like, "Oh yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, I'd love to, but like also like it's the kind of thing that would just become your primary focus. It would take up so much of your time." And then Christine says, "Well, yeah, isn't that is basically like, oh yeah, isn't that a great thing? Isn't that such a wonderful thing?" And it's kind of ironic considering like that Christine is like this fucking super rich one who like doesn't have to do anything,
Yeah. No, exactly.
who could spend like all her time looking after a baby
Hmm.
when Lizette and she's saying that to Lizette who is her maid.
Yeah,
Um
exactly.
yeah, who can't
Like, obviously,
take
it's a
care who
wonderful thing
can't
for
take care
you.
of a baby full time because she's a
Yeah.
fucking maid
Yeah,
to her,
exactly.
and her husband is also like working at the
Well,
chateau.
he's all fucking other bitches, so obviously
Yeah,
he's not
true.
taking care of no kids,
What, Schumacher?
unfortunately. Oh, I thought you were
Oh
talking
no.
about Robert.
Yeah, no, no. I mean, yeah, obviously, but
We're talking about the other evil French
like,
person.
yeah, yeah, but like, there's too many to count, bro. But like, Christine could, could like take care of a baby. Like maybe Lizette couldn't or would like have a lot more trouble because
Yeah.
she has way less money and way less time. And it's just a really really subtle way of like
Yeah.
giving off like perspectives between different classes, and
Honestly, I didn't even.
it's so easy to miss. I didn't even pick it up until this viewing.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like
I was gonna
locked
say
in this
I didn't
time.
clock that in at all until you explained it, and I was
I
like, oh,
was
that's cool.
completely locked in this
Hmm.
viewing. It's like it's like I'm finally able to understand it,
Yeah, because
which
sometimes
is
the movie
funny.
doesn't like ham it up. It's just like, yeah, this is how the characters behave. Like, they're assholes. Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like easy to miss sometimes, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Can I just get my favorite part of the movie out the way?
All right.
Octave in the bear suit. That whole
Yeah,
the
that's
whole
so
part of him
funny.
running around. That was I love that
I
so
love
much.
that. I find the movie in general like really funny. I find it
Yeah, yeah.
hilarious. But like I was like laughing a lot when he's like trying to get out of the bear suit and he's just running
And
around.
everything
And
around him's falling apart, and he's just running
and
around
he's
in
like
this
falling
stupid
over and
suit.
shit, and
Yeah,
no one wants to help him. It's so funny, and it's crazy because like everything like in this movie is like a double-edged sword, but like if the sword is like this is a bad analogy. If the sword is like good and like instead of killing you, it like gives you like a handy I don't know.
yeah.
I can't think of I can't think of an analogy.
I get what
Where
you're trying
like
to
as well
say.
as like this really funny thing where he's like trying to get out of the bear costume. He's all like it's also the fucking especially in that part the camera and like the staging has such a fucking command of the
Yeah.
entire environment. It's never like you always know exactly where you are.
Hmm.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah,
Um,
I was gonna say too. I love I really appreciate how good this movie's sense of humor is because it's a, like I think this movie is a smart movie. I think the satire. I mean, some of the satire really flew over my head, and there's probably
yeah.
more that I missed. But like,
I think it's basically required you watch it. It's like one of those movies. It's basically required. You have to at least watch it twice, in my
Yeah,
opinion. But
no,
like,
definitely. Because like I can
not to
already tell a
enjoy
lot of
it, but
like.
just to like fully ingest it, I
Well,
guess.
that's the thing I was gonna say. Because even if you don't like get the all the satire, it's still like a very well paced, like entertaining
Mm,
movie about a bunch of rich people like going crazy and like fucking shit up. So like even
yeah,
when you don't really totally understand the gist of what it's trying to say, there's like something to look forward
yeah.
to. Like there's always a
Even
funny guy running around in a bear suit.
Yeah, even the first time I watched it, where I wasn't nearly as into it, just because I was like so confused as to what
Yeah.
was going on, I like couldn't keep up with it. I still like really enjoyed it, and I actually really loved the ending as well. I just couldn't keep up with it, and I was like, okay, I'll watch it again at some point, and I did, another three times.
Hmm.
So
I think like the way the film's shot and like like it matches well like perfectly with like the chaos of what's happening on screen. Like the filmmaking is like so energetic and like just like easy to follow too. Like I know like we were talking about the character names and all that, but like when it comes to
mm,
like actually like seeing what's on screen,
it's very
like you said,
visual.
yeah, you said the blocking was like really good, and I agree. It's just like your eyes
It's
always like know where to go.
it's the best in any film, and it's from like, in my opinion, and it's from 1939.
Yeah, from
In
what
my
I've seen, I'd
opinion,
say it's up
in my
there.
opinion, it's like the best staging in like any film.
Yeah, it looks
It's like
incredible.
I'd say it's in contention for, and this would be controversial, but especially because like the connotations of saying this, but like I'd say it's in the conversation for best cinematography for like a
Ooh,
movie.
yeah, that's a big claim. I wouldn't go
That's
that far,
controversial.
but
Thing is, it has weird connotations because when you think of best cinematography for a movie, you don't think of Rules of the Game, really.
yeah,
You
no,
think of like The Red Shoes or Ran, or like
'cause
something that's like
it's not
something that's
flashy or like,
like every frame a painting. And
yeah,
I do think the actual like aesthetically, I think the shots in this film are gorgeous. But like the bit that really just fucking gets me going is just like the way it's just the fucking, man, it sounds so nerdy, but like the fucking staging, man.
no,
It's
that's true. I mean, like, it's not going to
it's
be one of those.
incredible.
It's not one of those like I like how it looks, okay, but to me, it's not one of those movies where like there's a lot of shots that I'm gonna like fucking frame on my wall or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But like you
No,
said,
that
like,
exactly. That's the thing. When I say best cinematography, that's what everyone thinks of. It's what
yeah,
I think of. It's like which film is like the
what go
most shots that make you
what
go
pick
ooh
goes the
la
hardest?
la.
Yeah,
Which one
yeah,
has the
yeah,
most like
exactly.
naked type images in it. But like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
and Rules of the Game, yeah, it's an incredible looking movie. It's not, obviously, in terms of like just pure aesthetics, it's not like Ran or the Red
Yeah,
Shoes, but I mean, if it was, I don't think it could. If it was, I don't think it could be as like fun and inventive
that's the thing. Probably not.
with the camera movement. It's crazy as well. The fact that it's like from the 30s, that big
Mm.
ass camera, and they managed to like move it around so much, so energetically.
Yeah, I was gonna say there were times where like they were doing shit all in like one take or one shot, and like I wouldn't even realize it because it just felt like so seamless.
It's fucking
And
insane.
yeah, and I have to like go back and look. I was like, damn, was that all in like one take? And I was like, oh shit, it was. That's fucking
Yeah,
insane.
I
Because
love it. There's just like, sorry, you
it's
go.
so like subtle. Like you don't like you hardly notice it when it happens.
Yeah, it's like it's like weird. It's like extreme. If you're like if you're noticing it, it's extremely flashy. But if you're not, it just like you don't. Like,
Yeah,
that sounds weird, but like you know what I mean.
it kind of reminded me of Lahane. Not
Yeah,
even necessarily the filmmaker. It's just like
I was
yeah,
as
like
well.
the
Lahane
way
also is some of the best like staging of any film in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, yeah. Like this was just like really like good cinematography that's still like subtle, you know.
Mm. I mean, I wouldn't say. Uh, I guess it is. I guess it. I mean, there's definitely a lot of
Lahane
like
has some flashy
look at
shit.
me. It has a lot of look at me
Yeah,
kind of shots, and I don't say that in a bad way because Lahane is like my favorite movie.
yeah, definitely.
You know.
Yeah, That's also a movie with some goofy ass shit in it.
Lahane's my
Like,
favorite movie. I think I'd say Rules of the Game is the best French movie ever made.
damn,
Honestly,
really?
yeah.
I mean,
I
Lahane's
mean,
my
Lahane's my favorite.
yeah. But
But
in
like
terms
Rules
of
of the
like, if
Game,
you were making a
I
sight
think
and
that's like
sound list,
that's like man, that's it's so good.
it's super. I mean, I laid the blueprint for like a shit ton of movies supposedly. That's the thing too. I haven't watched many um rich people bad satires like Triangle of Sadness. I haven't seen that movie. I haven't seen
Yeah.
a lot of the movies that this influenced. So I feel like if I had a point of reference that I could like compare it to, I'd have I'd appreciate it even more. But right now, like this is like I think this is like one of the only rich people satires I've seen, surprisingly. And I mean, really good
Really, because it's
introduction.
quite a
Cause
trend. I've seen quite a few, especially because there's been a lot recently, and not all of them are good. There's like some, there's
damn,
some,
bro.
but like a lot of there are a lot that
Yeah, I
like
see what you mean. I
there are a
mean, there was
lot
that
that like
one.
are like you watch them and like they're decent, but then they get like super popular because they're like because they're decent, but also like kind of like really tame and not really saying all that much. So like, and this is gonna
Easy to
sound
understand.
really, yeah, easy to understand. This is gonna sound really, what's the word? Fucking, what's the word when you like fucking like look down on people?
Pretentious.
Not pretentious. Like,
Being a snob, being a fucking jerk in your
nah,
dick.
not in that way. Looking down at someone like, oh, you fucking silly, stupid person.
Being judgy, being a bitch,
Being a
being
bitch. This might be a
being
bit bitch
French.
ass. Yeah, this might be a bit French bitch ass, but like it's like because it's like so tame and so simple. Like something
Yeah.
like The Menu, you haven't seen that, but that was a film that was like super popular last
Hmm.
year. Not last year, it was a few years ago. It was 2022, not last year. And that's another one where because like really simple like really obvious satire.
Yeah, yeah.
Really obvious satire. It's a decent movie, but like yeah, really obvious, and it's got fucking Nicholas Hoult in it, Anya Taylor Joy, Ray
Yeah.
Fiennes,
Like you can get
and
everything
it was a
in one
Netflix
sitting.
movie, you know.
Yeah. Now
Triangle of
this one,
Sadness I like more because one, it's way funnier, and it's also it's also like surprisingly challenging in the way
mm,
that it like in the way that like it's like a pretty standard rich person satire at like first, and then in the second act it kind of goes like super crazy, like balls to the walls, in a way that reminds me of Rules of the Game actually.
yeah.
um and then
I'm sure this
in the
influenced
last
it.
act it completes like it takes like, without spoiling, it takes a complete fucking U-turn
Mm,
in terms of like pacing and like direction and tone and everything, in like a
that's
way
cool.
that's like really intentionally jarring and a lot of people hate. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of like it. I kind of like it. I wasn't sure about it when I watched it, but like the like thinking back on it, it's like that's like that's really ballsy. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I
we
wouldn't be
went
at all
quite off
surprised if
topic.
this influenced it, though.
It's influenced like every, well, not every, but I imagine, but like at least any of the good rich person satires probably have Rules of the Game
Yeah.
to thank, even if
Well,
inadvertently. Citizen Kane,
Lahane.
you know, which is insane to say. Citizen
Yeah.
Kane has actually maybe not. I don't know if Orson Welles had watched it, but like I wouldn't be surprised, especially because all like the deep
This movie
focus,
ancient, bro. Yeah.
all the deep focus cinematography in it, which
I thought there were
Citizen Kane is like really is like famous for like pioneering it. Well, not pioneer, at least popularizing it.
I
Rules of
didn't
the
even
Game did
think
it like 2 years earlier.
I didn't even think there were movies before Citizen Kane. So this is news to me.
Yeah, true. I
This is
think
kind of a mind blowing moment.
there was that one racist one, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
that one. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that one.
yeah, this time.
That's a threat
Yeah.
to anyone who's listening to this.
All right, that was a great episode. Next time we'll be talking about the birth of a nation.
Earth Donation.
Okay.
I'm giving this one a 10 out of 10.
I'm giving this my first 11.
Yeah, okay, like bullshit aside, going back to what we were talking about before, like I do really appreciate how like I didn't get all the satire like on first viewing, because like you said, with a lot of those
Yeah.
rich people bad movies, it's like it's very like a surface level satire, like you get the gist of what it's trying to say like in one sitting, whatever. But with this one, I feel like there's genuinely like a lot to dig into, especially with the subtext with like World War II and all that. Um, and just genuinely like all the way in which like the way it makes fun of rich people, like some of it's very obvious, yeah, but
Yeah.
also like the subtle digs like you mentioned with Lizette and Christine, like those types of interactions, I feel like you need to watch the movie several times to really get. So I do like appreciate that.
And what a lot of these types of films, especially now, what a lot of them miss is that like the characters, all of the characters, well, all of the characters are like real people.
Yeah,
You know,
no, exactly.
they're all complex. They all have like good and like bad attributes, except for
No,
like
exactly.
that like fucking asshole at the end. Um, who I forget actually appears multiple times throughout the movie.
Yeah,
And it's like such a fucking punch in the face that like his last line is like so infuriating after you've
yeah,
just
yeah.
seen.
He's
But
such a
like
fucking
but like he says something similar earlier, after Christine met like fucking friend zones Andre in front of everyone, which is really funny.
yeah.
After that, he's like, "Oh, this Christine, she has class. She has so much
Yes, like,
class."
yeah, he
And
just
then
keeps
he
fucking
says it
parroting
right
that.
at the end, so it's a
Yeah.
fucking running
Yeah,
joke.
yeah, it's
Fucking
amazing.
maddening in the best way. It's fucking
I think
maddening.
yeah, that's the thing. A lot of movies that like heavily utilize irony or that are like very ironic throughout, its runtime, like fall into that trap where like the characters feel more like caricatures, or they're like very two-dimensional, where like you almost
Yeah.
can't believe they're people. And like I imagine in some context, that could work, but for this movie, I think since it goes for like emotional beats at points, like especially with the ending and stuff, and Andre getting fucked over and Octave getting fucked over, I think like the fact that like the characters there's like something there, like they aren't just like flat two-dimensional like caricatures we're just supposed to be laughing at 24/7. I think it does like help the movie a lot. And it's one thing I really appreciated too, because I wasn't really expecting that going in, but I think like it really works.
Yeah, something I've heard someone else say about Renoir. I say someone else. I can't remember where I heard it, unfortunately. But the thing was, it was like Renoir is a director who loves people and hates society,
Yeah,
basically.
I'd say that's accurate.
And it really rings true. And I love how in this movie, it's not that the rich people are like bad. It's that like the bubble they're in is just fucking
Yeah,
disgusting and toxic.
they
You know, I
have
mean,
to
obviously
obey.
they do a lot of bad thing. They do a lot of bad shit, but like the bubble that they're in is disgusting because like because everyone in the bubble is horrible. Even like the poor, like the fucking working class people in the bubble are
Yeah,
fucking horrible. If like not worse,
yeah, yeah.
honestly. You know,
But they have to obey les règles du jeu.
yeah. Yeah, they have to obey les
Title
règles.
drop.
What do you think
Boom.
les règles de jeu are?
Um,
What do you think the rules of the game are?
um, kill Jimmy.
Kill Jimmy.
Kill Jimmy.
No.
Don't. No, I already messed up, guys.
No.
Sorry, I already broke a reg. Oopsie. Um, don't.
You know, I was talking to Jimmy earlier.
But I thought I killed him. What do you mean you talked to him
No,
before
we were
I killed
watching
him?
Old Boy.
Oh, okay.
He always makes me watch Old Boy. He
Yeah, I
finds
wonder
it
why,
so
bro.
funny. He's like, especially in that first half of the movie and like near the end, he's like laughing. He's just laughing and he's just laughing and laughing
Wow,
at like
I
what he's
wonder
put
why.
Odesu through. He's just
Wow.
laughing and laughing and like
That's
he was
kind of fucked
watching.
up.
We were watching the bit where like Odesu like fucks his daughter.
Yeah.
And he was pointing at the screen and saying, "Yeah, you see that's what I do. That's the technique."
That's fucked up. Jesus
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Christ. I
That's
think I
what
did the
do.
world a favor by putting him down. To be honest, I hate to say it, but he was kind of fucked up, man. Yeah, I think he's a bad influence on you because now like we keep talking about him in these podcasts, and it's
We
all
keep
good, bro.
talking about these French movies.
Yeah, yeah, that's the real fucked up part. You have two French movies in your top four now, dude. Like, what am I like? What I don't even
Yeah.
recognize you anymore. Who
Yeah,
are
it
you?
sucks. Anyway, so back on track. What I kind of like, there's like a ton of like kind of meta stuff with this movie, like how, um, so Octave is played by Renoir, and he's kind of like he is like the mediator almost, like in the film,
Yeah.
but it's funny that like he's like the mediator. He's the one that kind of he's not fully out of the bubble, but he's the one who's like most aware of it, I'd say.
Yeah.
Even if he's not fully out of it.
Yeah, you say he wants to crawl in a hole and die,
Yeah.
so you just have to
And
think
that's
about
like
the
near the
rules.
beginning of the movie
Yeah,
as well.
it's a great
Like,
line.
when like fucking yeah, and it because it's great. um and it's funny, but especially because like Jean Renoir was like a fucking he was a nepo baby. He was a massive nepo baby, son of a hugely famous painter who also kind of specialized, not entirely, but he did a lot of like class commentary stuff. Which is funny because even though he is like a rich, he was a rich nepo baby, he kind of got it, especially
Hmm.
because he didn't focus on like, oh, the rich they're so silly, and the poor are like, they want to be rich, but like he
Yeah.
mostly just focused on the echo chambers that he was like pretty intimately familiar with, which is
Hmm.
probably why he was like so good um at like dissecting them.
Hmm. That makes sense because he was really for real living that life, dude.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's one thing. That's one thing I didn't really pick up on until you mentioned it, and now like I think that as we're talking about it, like the pieces are starting to click in my head a bit. Because like
Mm.
honestly, like off first watch of this, like I loved it, but all the satire I got was rich people are shallow, bro,
They're
and
silly.
they're silly,
They're
and like
silly.
I knew there was more to it than that, but I was just like trying to figure out what it
I
was.
see it honestly. The more I watch it, the less I see it. I mean, obviously it's a satire. It's a
Yeah.
fucking it's a comedy of manners. But the less I like watch it as one, the more I
Mm.
watch it as just an ensemble like character piece
Yeah. Yeah.
with like a
No, that's fair enough.
with just a like bunch of like kind of fucked complicated characters in like an echo chamber that just
Yeah.
fucks them all over. Like obviously it is a satire, but like even if you're not I mean it's pretty hard not to, but if you're not thinking of that, it still works perfectly.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Like just
So
like
another sorry, you go.
yeah, I was just saying, just like like watching the characters interact and like their dynamics and shit, and just like watching the madness unfold is like fun in and of itself. You don't really have to like understand all the satire right away to like enjoy it.
Yeah, they have a lot of like really fun like quirks. I like how um Robert has like he has like like as I don't know if it's even commentary or not on like on him being like out of touch or whatever, but he has like he's obsessed with these these like mechanical like recreations of like birds and these like really fucking tacky like disgusting like music boxes with like
That sound like my beats when I listen to
with
them
like
next morning.
plastic like kids and shit.
Yeah.
And there's like a one with like a the first one that happens is that they're talking about where he's like talking to Christine. It's like, oh man, Andre over the radio, he just said, man, Andre over the radio, he was waiting for you. He was waiting for you. What the fuck? Oh, by the way, I got this like music box of like a black woman. and then he plays it, and it's like horrifying, and it's playing this like just this shit music, and at the end he like it's like fucking maddening, and he reveals that fucking thing, that huge machine behind the curtain.
I hated
and
that
then
part.
there's like a pan across
The worst music.
showing all the fucking like little like characters like waving like sticks around and shit. It's like
Yeah,
so
it's really
tacky.
fucking horrifying.
It's so tacky and dumb.
I hated it.
Yeah, I love it. I love when it fucking breaks at the end and it's like playing the same two notes over and over again as like as Schumacher's like running around with the gun.
The music is truly like ear grating too. Like whoever was on that, great job.
There's like barely any music in the film.
Holy Jesus Christ, bro.
As well, it's like actually love that. It's really restrained. It's really restrained. There's like that bit that it kind of which kind of adds to like the kind of madness of Schumacher like chasing Marceau around with the gun.
Definitely.
I fucking love that whole sequence, by the way. And but there's also like when kind of a tension is kind of starting to boil up at like the end of the hunting trip. Tension is starting to boil, and like just in the background there's like a little kind of like trumpet going off. And it's kind of funny, and then they have like classical music playing at like the beginning and the end, and it like fits very well. Mm-hmm. It's like very restrained, but it's
I
like
appreciated that
done
too.
very purposefully. It's great.
So when the bad shitty music's playing in your ear, it really stands out.
Yeah. So do you have anything else to say before I start talking about World War II?
Oh yeah, I was just wondering. One thing I liked, it's like a really stupid minor thing. I'm not even sure if I don't even know who these two characters are. Like I didn't even pick up on it, but like you remember like those two guys who are like hunting the pheasants or whatever, and on the first time like one accidentally kills the other guy's pheasant, and they're like, "Oh man, you didn't kill my pheasant," and he's like, "Oh no problem, you're good, bro." And then like later in the movie, like the same shit happens, but now they're like beefing. I don't know why. I just thought that was like a really random
really
inclusion.
funny.
I don't know if like those two like hunters were like actual characters and I just completely missed it, or like if they were just like random like minor characters that Renoir decided to make beef.
I kind of vaguely remember that
for no reason.
That is funny though. That is really
I just like remembered that.
I love the bit where there's that fucking guy who's like really like fucking laughing, and like they're all having a jolly time at like the hunting, and he's like, "Oh my god, I was with this one guy and he was holding his gun funny and he fucking blew his thigh to pieces. He was dead in 20 minutes." And they're like all laughing. It's like,
I love that
bit
part
is
too.
so good. So yeah, fucking World War II, man. France got taken over by the Nazis a year later. And kind of everyone could see it. World War II, it had broken out by this time. Mm-hmm. Or at least, I don't know exactly like the time it came out, but like the year it was made, because at least in the UK, I don't know about France, in the UK they like declared war in like, I think it was like September of that year. But even, anyway, when they were making the film, it was like, okay, whatever. Fucking another world war is gonna happen. And even in the film, it says at the start, it's like this takes place on the eve of World War II.
Yeah.
And I love that because it doesn't affect the plot whatsoever.
Yeah,
which kind of says a lot. The fact that like all these people are like so wrapped up in their own shit, like they wouldn't even notice. If the Nazis
there was
invaded,
a fucking war.
They wouldn't even
amazing.
notice because they're all fucking, you know.
In their little bubble.
There's some like there's like servants. Even like the servants are in like the bubble, and like the rest of them are just fucking like rich, white like privileged people.
Yeah.
And the fact that they talk something I noticed, they talk a surprising amount about like other like groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like they talk like they have like they mention like black people and like Native Americans and stuff, and there's a bit where they like for basically no reason they just start talking about Jewish people. There's a
Yeah.
bit where like the cook is like, oh, like kind of out of nowhere. He's like, oh yeah, speaking of Jewish people, I was at this place. There were no Jewish people there.
Oh my god, I
It's like,
forgot about that.
and it is like, especially on my and like a bit that's like it's aged horribly in like the like kind of the best way, which sounds
Yeah.
weird, but like watching it back then, it would have been whatever. Like, the satire still worked, but watching it now, it's like extra kind of horrifying the way that they've like dressed up as like Jewish stereotypes and they're like prancing about and singing on stage.
Yeah.
Just thinking
No,
about
that's
how
true.
this was as the Holocaust was happening.
It was happening, yeah.
Like, I don't know if they
That's
knew
crazy.
about it then. They might have, I don't know, but like just like as the
Well, it
Holocaust was
certainly ramped
happening,
up
it's
after.
honestly like if you think about it too hard, it's fucking kind of
A little,
sickening.
yeah, a little terrifying.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, because this was at the start of the war, and I don't know, like, when like, at what year that, the anti-Semitism, like, really, like, took fucking full.
It was way before the war.
Yeah,
I think at the very least, like in like throughout the 30s, there was already like it was like ramping up basically,
yeah,
and then I think they actually like the Holocaust as like sort of we know it, like where they actually started killing like Jewish people and like black people and gay people and like people from like other countries and stuff was like I think that was started around like 1938. So it was
mm,
happening.
yeah, yeah,
It
because
was happening. I don't know if Renoir knew or whatever, but it was happening. Um,
yeah, because I remember, like, the concentration camps were built before the war, and they were originally, like, supposed to be for, like, political enemies, and then it, like, gradually just
yeah,
got
yeah,
more and more extreme.
yeah. There was
So
a kind of well, I say misconception. Obviously, yeah, the most famous one is Auschwitz because that was like the biggest one, and it was like a death camp. You just went there, and then they killed you. But there were also a lot of um concentration camps that were for like working. Obviously, like thousands of people died there too because the conditions were like
we're
fucking
so bad.
horrible and they weren't fed and shit.
Mm,
But yeah, there were a lot of like work camps as well.
like
And
labor
just yeah,
camps.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah. It's like that bit that's like oh my that kind of like always sticks out as like man. It's like one of the more obvious bits of like class. One of the more obvious bits of class satire in the film that like where I think it's like the piano lady is like talking to I think it's I forgot who she's talking to, but I think it's someone's doing like a study on like America or like early America or whatever, and it was like, oh well, but oh yeah,
oh
so
yes, I
early
remember this
America, so
part.
like before the Americans showed up, and it was like full of black people, and they're like, oh no, it was no, not the black,
The
it wasn't black
Indians.
people, they weren't there yet, it was the Indians, and they were
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh silly me,
I completely forgot about that part too. Jesus fucking
yeah,
Christ. I just remembered. Yeah, looking back, there was a lot of fucking weird, like, scenes like that.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I've just so I've got I don't know how much more you need to say. I kind of there probably is more I want to say, but like I just can't think of it right. I just can't think of it right now. So
Yeah, that was it. That was it for me.
but I've just got a couple more things
Yeah, sure.
written in my notes right now. So one of them is that it's just something I noticed. Um, so um, fucking I wrote it down as Genevieve because I'm a fucking idiot. But Lisette and Christine are introduced in the same shot.
Mhm.
Um, Basically, and like the first shot where you see them is because and that they're listening to Andre, in his cuck chair on the radio. And Lisette is like literally kneeling um at Christine's feet, and that's like the first shot of the
Oh, that's
movie.
cool.
Not of the movie, but like of them.
Yeah. I mean, establishes the dynamic pretty well.
Yeah, and like the camera is like the shot starts like behind the radio and then it pans up to show them.
That's so
Yeah,
cool.
it's cool.
See, this is why you.
It's
This is
it
why like that shit you said about needing to watch this movie twice is true because there's a lot of like things that you like need context for to
yeah,
like
yeah.
completely get.
It's got better every time I've seen it. I was honestly, it came. I mean, obviously, I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this film for a while for Eggy Wegg. But thing is, it came up in the wheel. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, may as well. But then part of me was a bit worried because like I didn't see it that long ago. My third time watching it was only a couple months ago, and I was worried.
Yeah,
Is this gonna be? Is this gonna be a feel kind of pointless? But
yeah,
no, like watching it, I was like more locked in than I've ever been watching this movie, honestly.
that's fucking
It's so
awesome.
weird. It's so weird. It's
Yeah, wasn't
like
this like your fourth time seeing it? I think.
yeah, it's a fourth time.
Yeah,
It's my fourth time seeing it, but like it felt like a second time watching 2001 kind of deal. Second
that's
time
awesome.
watching La Haine or whatever. But like for my fourth watch, which is like insane.
Yeah,
That's
and you already had
insane.
it out of 10.
Yeah, no, I did. I did. It got even better. Um, I say yeah, another bit. I like. This was like a conversation that was like so ridiculous that I had to note it down, and because it kind of sums up all of like unflattering kind of like ignorant like racist like kind of misogynist like shit that like the characters say in the film. It kind of summarizes it in like one conversation where like Robert and like Marceau, they're like round a corner and they're talking to each other and they're both smoking. And then Robert's like, "Oh, have you ever wished you were an Arab?" Um, and Marceau is like, "No," and he's like, Robert's like, "For the harem, only Muslims show a little
Oh
logic
my
in matters of
fucking god.
male
Yeah,
female relations. They're made like us." And,
that's me too.
and then he's like, "They always have a favorite, but they don't kick the others out and hurt their feelings. And I don't want to hurt anyone, especially not a woman." Um, and then this entire time, Marceau has just been like, "Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, the
if you say
poet.
so, man. If you say so." And then Robert's like, "It's the story of my life."
Oh my god.
There's more. And Marceau is like, "Oh," and Marceau is like, it's like because obviously he said, "Oh, I don't want to hurt anyone, especially not a woman, but it's the story of my life." And Marceau is like, "But that takes money." And Robert kind of like cheekily, because obviously Robert is like rich, and Robert is like, "Even with money, I still hurt everybody, my wife, my mistress, and even myself."
I remember like
There's a fucking great conversation. I had to fucking write it down because it was like
yeah,
so like unbelievable.
yeah, all these characters, they're like misogynistic or like racist, but at least they're classy about it. At least they're polite about it.
Yeah, he has class, and that's rare nowadays.
Yeah,
You know,
God fucking damn it.
that's
That's,
man.
I love
It's
that.
like so funny though. Like
Yeah.
they say like some really horrible shit, but like it's so funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch it because I recognize a lot of the jokes, but some of them didn't really land. And
Yeah,
like
no, no,
now
no.
that
That
you've
was the same
explained
for
them, like it
me.
makes
Like when I first watched it, I recognized that a lot of what was happening was funny,
yeah.
but I was like so confused. I had so much to process. I had so much to process that I just couldn't. I just wasn't in the mindset to find it funny.
Mm.
Just because I had so much. No, I was trying
Because
to
you're just
take
trying to
in.
understand
And
what was going
I
on.
was yeah. I just couldn't understand it. There's like a bit that always like makes me laugh where and it's like really like well staged as well. Where like I think it's like God, I forgot. I think it's like Andre and like someone else or like this other guy was just like with Christine, like after like after the fucking like bear costume shit, and Andre like gets mad, even though like he and like Christine were like never a thing. He gets mad and like starts fucking throwing hands with him.
I was
Um,
yeah, I was like confused at that part because I don't know if I just like missed something because like you said, hey, he and Christine weren't a thing, so like I was confused why he got so pissed, and
no,
then I'm
he's
like,
just
oh,
a
he's just like
fucking
he's
no.
just like a huge simp for her. Like that's the
He's just a massive simp. It's like
oh, okay.
his last when he gets shot, his last words, you can hear him like croak out like Christine.
He got played so fucking hard in this movie.
Yeah. And so like they're fighting on the stairs and then one of them just kind of falls over on this like on the stairs and just kind of sits there. He can't be bothered. And then um and then Andre like God, what is it? Oh yeah, no, because there was also Jackie's there and Jackie likes Andre. And then Andre like ends up going into the going goes uh, like down the stairs and into the other room to see to see Christine, and then Jackie like sees him go there and then like she
Mm.
just can't take it and she fucking just faints at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
that
really
part's
fun. There's a
awesome.
lot of like dumb stuff like that. I love the bit where like where like Andre and Robert they're like fucking squabbling and fighting and shit, and then like a bullet goes through a lamp and like nearly hits them, and they kind of snap out of it, and like from that point on they're like like buddy, which is really
Yeah,
funny, and basically
yeah, I like
and
that
like they
too.
kind of put aside their differences to fucking put Genevieve to bed 'cause she's like having a fucking meltdown
Yeah, yeah.
at the same time.
I
Um,
also really like the part where like Octave was like fucking like kissing Christine in the greenhouse, and they were both like, "Oh yeah, he's really trustworthy. He's someone's he's someone special." I mean, like he did end up being trustworthy in the end, I guess, but like just the timing was like really good.
yeah, and they're walking in the hallway, and they're like,
Yeah,
and he's like, Octave is the epitome of a friend.
he's really
It's like
something else, bro.
he makes me really believe in friendship. Yeah, man, uh, fucking great movie.
Yeah, really good movie. I think like talking about it has made it like better in my head, I think. Like when I
Oh yeah,
rewatch it, it'll definitely grow on me, I think.
like yeah, easy 10, one of my favorite films. Yeah, love Jean Renoir. I need to watch more of his shit.
Hell yeah.
Man.
Good movie. First viewing. It was my first viewing. I have it at an 8 out of 10. But with future viewings it'll probably go up. Really good
Oh
movie,
yeah.
really entertaining. Liked it. Really cool
Kind of
movie.
epic, kind of funny.
I guess I'll give it to the French people this time. They really had me.
This time.
Yeah, this time. It's their one
This
and
time.
only victory.
This time. Same score as South and Tails.
Yeah, make way for the actual good satire, Mr. Renoir. You
I got
fuck.
sober.
Oh, but I'm
Nah,
not
so.
a
Do you know what?
soldier.
Only one of those uses the hard R, and it's not the
It's
French movie from the 30s.
about racist people.
It's not the French movie from the 30s about racist people.
No,
It's
it's just
It's the R. Kelly movie with
Richard
the
Kelly's
Rock,
pure genius
with the Rock
with
and
Dwayne.
the main actor from Goon.
Oh yeah,
Is it called Goon or is it Gooner?
Goon.
I
What? I
forgot.
don't even know.
You know the main guy in Southland Tales, the fucking guy who's yeah, it's called Goon.
He's in a
The guy
thing
who's
called
like
Goon.
the guy who's the twin. Yeah. Hold on, I'll
I didn't
post
even
it.
know that. Oh yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, Goon 2011.
That's sick. What a resume this guy
There's a
has.
sequel?
Gooner.
Nah, they made a sequel in 2017. Goon: Last of the Enforcers. It's about like
awesome.
ice hockey. Oh man, this
Oh.
is Canadian. Or am I being racist? Canadians. It is Canadian. Yes. Yes. Man,
Of course, it's Canadian.
it's Canadian. Spoken languages: English and French. Yeah. Goon.
Alright, I gotta head out now, dude.
All right.
See you around.
Alright.
It was good talking about the movie.
Eggy Wegg out.
Oh, wait, we're still recording. Fuck.
Yeah.
Eggy Wegg out. Brr, brr, brr.